workouts, like dance workouts, would you suggest for people? Because I know dancing is for sure a workout, and because I know I love dancing myself, and I'm definitely one of those that will dance around the house too. So, like, what's some things like people can do like at home, like if they don't have time to like go to the gym and if they love dancing or whatever, you know?
I think, well, just overall, if you've ever been interested in like Zumba classes, I feel like Zumba is like the perfect, because it kind of mimics that, just like a dance stop being in a regular dance class, because they always follow like 8 counts and it's repetitive choreography. And it does move pretty fast, but it does like challenge, I think it challenges your memory too, because they'll teach you a couple 8 counts and you repeat that throughout. And everything's always on beat too, so it helps you with like counting music. So I definitely say just an overarching like dance style, if you're looking just for like a dance class, definitely try out the Zumba. But as far as like individual, just some exercises you can do at home that don't require weights or anything, I would say the first one is try like a sumo squat, is what they're called in more of like the workout world. But I've also heard become like a plie squat, which plie is, it's a dance term and it just means to bend. But it's similar to a traditional squat, but the only difference is you're going to turn your feet out, so they're going to point outwards. And then you're going to do, and have your legs kind of nice and wide. That way, when you go to do your squat, your knees are going to be like pointing outwards rather than like traditionally they point forward. And in dance, it'd be like a grand plie is what we would call it in dance. And so it does mimic like a dance move that you would do, but it also is really good for your legs and like toning and stuff too. And it just works some different muscles. It works kind of like your glutes almost more when you have your feet turned out. So yeah, definitely give that a try. They're called either sumo squats or plie squats. It's like it's an interchangeable term. A second one I would say is huge, and this one I think we do as dancers, but also in the regular world too. Just calf raises, and in dance it's the same move in dance, but we actually call it a releve, which means to rise. Releves are just huge. I think in everything that we do, we're always like up on our toes, we're pushing up. So just doing calf raises is a great like dance inspired workout, because it does work those calves. It helps tone your legs. It also helps if you are a dancer. It does help with like jumps and just really like your movement across the floor and strengthening those legs and those feet too. And then let's see what else. Like a standing leg lift is another great one. And you could do those, honestly, there's a few variations. So you would stand with your feet like shoulder width apart, and you can hold on. If you need assistance, you can hold on to a chair back or onto a table. But if not, if you want to challenge your balance and kind of work on that balance, you can put your hands on your hips. And all you're going to do is stand feet width apart with your feet like parallel, like facing forward. And then you would take one leg at a time. And so you just do your right leg. You could do like 8 or 10 or 15, whatever your like ability is. You're just going to lift your leg up to the side, just about like hip height, and bring it back down. And you'll definitely start to kind of feel it in your quads. And so you can do like 8 or 10 on one side and switch and do it on the other side. And again, if you want, you can work on your balance and not hold on to anything, or you can hold on to a chair back. If you want a little bit more of a challenge too, you can also start to take it to the front. So you can do like a forward leg lift, and then you can even do like a reverse, like a rear leg lift too. And I feel like they kind of mimic like doing batmas in dance. But and then you have the option too, you can flex your foot, or if you want, you can also like point your foot too, and you'll feel the difference a little bit in like muscle groups that are working. I would say like a jump squat, which you may have tried before, but so you would start in like a plie, like feet, I would do almost like shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider than shoulder width, and then you'll start in a plie, and then dancers always say plie, but you just you bend your legs down to your squat, and then you're going to jump straight up and try to point your toes when you jump and keep your legs straight, and then land back down in that squat. And I think that also, again, kind of mimics some dance moves of like jumping and like pointing your toes and landing back down, like toe ball heel. So you can definitely do those too.
Nice.
Like all those exercises are dance related, and I think that we do to strengthen and to help with technique as well.
Oh, okay. Those sound good. I'm gonna have to try that because I need to do some workouts myself.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're great. You'll feel them. You'll definitely feel them.
I know that the what did you call it? The jump squat.
Oh, like the jump squat. Yeah, those you'll feel tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Okay. Is there any more tips that you have for any dance workouts or anything of like dance related that you wanted to talk about or say?
As far as just, I feel like tips for like workout sake, just always try to pay attention to form. And just, this is like, I feel like this is just personally, like if I go to the gym or anything, and I feel like don't be afraid to use like lighter weights and really like correct your form. I know sometimes naturally we're like, oh, I want to use the 30-pound weight or the 20-pound weight. You want to go heavier, or especially it doesn't help that competitiveness of like when there's people around you and you're like, oh, look at this other girl next to me, she's lifting twice as much as I am. But I feel like you have to kind of block that out and do what's best for your own body. And sometimes I like to go down on the weights where it almost feels like, okay, I feel like I'm not really doing anything. But then you can increase your reps, and instead of doing 10, now I can do 20 or 30, and you'll still kind of feel it. And then you can also work on your form to make sure that you're not like arching your back the wrong way, or you're not doing things that like as you get older can really like mess your knees up. So I think that definitely just work on that form, take things slow, lighter weights if you have to, make sure you can always kind of breathe. That way you're not hurting yourself or you're not wearing yourself out. As far as, I was just say advice for, I guess just any dancer, but I think it could apply to any athlete or anybody in general. Let's see. I would say just always try to maintain your passion. I know that's such like a, not like stereotypical thing, but I think it's so important in anything you do, just whatever that's your career, or if you're in school, or that's if you love being at home and cleaning, just anything. I think really putting your passion into whatever you do, because it's going to make it so much more enjoyable. And I think that's kind of a life lesson that I've learned just over my years of if you're really not passionate about it, I hate to say throw it out the window, but maybe you need to find something then that you are passionate about, because it really does make a difference when you have something that you really love to do. Because then it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like, like I have to do this. I don't want to do this. Because if you really love it, it's like, it's exciting. You're like, I get to go do this today.
I agree.
I can't wait. I can't wait. And then, so I think definitely, and that does take time to find. Sometimes you have to explore. And,
it's true.
And trial and error, but you'll find it eventually. When you do, definitely ride with it. Hold on to it.
I agree for sure. That's great advice right there. Very great advice. Okay, well, that's a perfect way to end the interview, I believe. I really appreciate you agreeing to this interview. You had a lot of insightful things to say.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. Thank you.